and we are here for the new segment we like to call Matchup Madness. So how this is going to go is we have picked a player that we have decided is a quarterback with a lot, once again, it's quarterback, but a player with a lot of controversy, and we're going to be pinning him up against players and real quick, kind of like a speed round, but we're going to do a thing where one of the guys says something and like we will Debbie, okay, we have chosen the player and we're going to be given a couple other players and we're going to say, would we rather have this player or this player? And we're going to see who we would rather have for this next season coming up for this season and maybe the seasons ahead. So, all right. So while Austin's there, Austin cannot hear me. So this week, the Matchup Madness, the player we're going to be pinning up every week is going to be Jordan Love. So we're going to say Jordan Love versus the field. So how this is going to work is we have a list of players. We got Jordan Love versus, we have 5 players listed right now. So we're going to just real quick, kind of like a speed round, Jordan Love versus this guy. And we'll say which one we'd rather have, maybe give a little bit of explanation, and then move on. So if we could get Austin on here, Debbie, do you think that we should wait for Austin, or do you think we should just go ahead? All right. So this is great because Austin can't be here to tell me that he thinks I'm wrong. So Jordan Love is the player. First up, we have Jordan Love versus Tua. Now, if you watched the episode this week, you saw our quarterback rankings, and we have Tua in a category above Jordan Love. I do believe that Tua right now is a better quarterback than Jordan Love. I would rather have Tua. I think he's shown a lot. He can't get past that first playoff game. So once he can do that, it'll be great for Tua and his legacy, but I still am picking Tua above of Jordan Love. Next up, we have Jordan Love versus Jared Goff. Here, I will be going with Jared Goff as well. I think he has, we talked about again, you can see all of what we think of all of these quarterbacks more deep in our quarterback rankings that we just talked about in our episode for the week. So if you're just watching this little short on YouTube, go ahead and watch the episode. So Jared Goff, we all believe is a good quarterback, depending on his situation. He has great games when he plays in enclosed dorms. He does great with good offensive line play. But when he's outside and when he feels a little bit of pressure, he tends to struggle. You know, I really am close to picking Jordan Love on this one, but I am going to go Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is a very solid, above average quarterback. I also think Jordan Love is solid, but I think Jared Goff is who I'd give the nod to here. Next up, we have Justin Herbert. Now, this is great that I'm by myself because I am picking Justin Herbert. I am high on Justin Herbert if you listen to the podcast. Austin, I can tell you right now, if Austin was still here, he would say he would pick Jordan Love in this situation, but he's not here to say that. So next up, we have Kyler Murray. Wow, I'm realizing right now. I'll say it afterwards. Kyler Murray. I'm actually picking Kyler Murray in this one. Austin and Harold were very low on Kyler Murray as they put him in our rankings. And I'm pretty high on Kyler Murray. I think he's going to have a great season. I talked about in the episode. I'm picking Kyler Murray over Jordan Love here. And then Jordan Love versus CJ Stroud. And what I am realizing is I didn't think about this as we planned these players, but I'm picking every single one of these players over Jordan Love. I'm picking CJ Stroud here. I think he had a phenomenal rookie season. And if he can have an extension of that rookie season, he's going to be a top tier quarterback, right? We chose him in our tier called Kirk Cousins with chains on, which is just above the Kirk Cousins, just above the average tier and just below the elite tier. But if he has a season like he did last year, he will very much well be in the elite tier. So I'm picking CJ Stroud above him here. And Austin, I think, is still not here. And if that's the case, right. Okay. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of K&A Wow, I almost said the K&A Bible. Thank you for listening to this episode of the K&A Football Podcast. Hang on.
We had a comment earlier that we need to get to, and I think it's an interesting comment from Daniel the Camel. He asks, wrong one. Who will be the best QB from this 2024 class in 5 years? We were just going over and just ranking the tier list in the last episode, if you guys want to check that one out. But what do you think, Caden, about that?
Yeah. We talked about this last week a little bit, not the 5 years part, but I am very, very high on these top two quarterbacks, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. Me personally, I think Jaden Daniels, I'm still going to go with Jaden Daniels, but I think both of them are going to be in the top 5, top 10. Okay, maybe not top 5 quarterback conversations in 5 years. I think all of the other QBs 5 years from now, way out of the league. I think that they'll be terrible. Maybe last 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then they'll be done. But I think Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams will be in contention for top 10 quarterback every single year by the time 5 years rolls around. I think Jaden Daniels has a little more concern because, one, he is in Washington, which has not produced much as a franchise, and he has a lot of rushing upside, but at the same time, that gives him a lot more injury upside. But then looking at Caleb Williams, he's in Chicago, who has not produced a 4,000-yard passer in its entire franchise, and so that's not a good recipe for success in Chicago. But I think both of them will get those franchises over the hump. I think they're both going to be good. My answer is Jaden Daniels. I think Austin's, if I were to assume, would be Caleb Williams, but I think they're both going to be phenomenal quarterbacks. And now, thank you for the comment, by the way. Thank you for everybody who commented on today's live episode. And today was a fun time. It was our first episode being back live again. And I think we're going to be back to live every week that we record now. So that's going to be it for this week of K&A Football. Thank you very much for listening. And next week at this time, we will be posting and filming and live streaming our week 1 pick'ems. The week 1 is next Thursday. Starts next Thursday. It's a great time. We're super excited for it. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you for watching.